Brian!
Brian!
I will
Brian!
turn this stream around. Chris is playing Smolk.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
God damn it.
I'm just kidding. Yes, that's right. I'm playing Smolk Folder, which is in no way related to Smolk or Falk Smolder from our show. And and he is a rogue, level 5.
Irene is playing Pants.
Yep. Warforged Spider, level 5. It's apparently a female. And she also thinks she's human.
Aww.
Robin is playing Zezia.
Yes! She does magic and drugs and stuff. I hate myself.
Sounded like that one guy that's in most of the Adam Sandler movies.
God.
It's the weekend and it's lunchtime at the Dolby and there are people eating. And who wants to be there?
I'll be there.
And Zezia as well.
Yeah, I'll be there too.
So you guys are all having
I'll
lunch,
be there
and
for you.
Feather Highborn walks in, and she kind of slumps down at the bar like she's been running around the hotel and dealing with guests and stuff, and she orders a drink on the job, or else she's on her break or something, and she looks over at you guys. Hold on while I roll for her mood.
Roll the mood.
That's a 1. She's generally cheerful, and she looks at you and she says, "Do you all drink?"
Yes, I enjoy the finest oil.
He just stares at you.
Zezia was staring.
Yeah, I drink. Does a Tarrasque shit in the mountains? That was an honest question. I actually don't know.
Neither do I.
Maybe
Well,
I should
they
have put a
say
longer
if you're
pause
not around
between...
to hear it, it doesn't make a sound.
Oh, that's a good inference.
I'm looking for people to go out with tonight.
Oh, well, there's like a bar down the corner.
I was hoping to hit lots of bars. I'm going to make the excuse that it's for research, since I'm the concierge here and I have to give people advice about where to go at night. But the truth is, all my friends canceled on me, so I'm just looking for people to go hang out with.
I'll pull up a chair.
I am sitting down.
I'm already a little bit drunk. Sorry, I didn't notice.
Same! And she slams her goblet on the table, kind of spilling wine.
We could go to the neighboring hotels and spy on them.
But isn't spying bad?
No, it's market research.
Why would you want to spy on the hotel?
We'll let Chef Rupert know what's going on over there, so he knows what his competition is like.
Oh, you know Chef Rupert?
Yes, I work with him. Here.
Oh, you work here. I thought
Yes.
you just came up off the street.
You can't tell by her uniform?
That's why I said I'm the concierge here at the hotel.
Oh, that's what that means.
She takes a drink and she says, "Well, I get off work at 5, and Rupert's going to be open late tonight because of it's Friday. But when would you guys be available? Could we get started right away as soon as I get off?
I'm available right now.
You hear what?
Available.
I've had a bit to drink too.
I should be free.
Excellent. So think about where you want to go, and I'll be back around 5. I'll probably run to my house real quick and change, but I'll be ready to go. And Chef Rupert says, "Why are you over there? Find out who's working at Les Mulligan's. They change staff every single week, it seems."
Was that the only one that cut out for?
She downs the last of her drink and she hops off the stool and walks out. And so is there anything that you guys would want to do to prepare for your bar hopping night?
I think we
Let's
should
see.
pregame. I'll take 5 shots.
I'll match that, but it's in oil.
Jeez.
I'm gonna touch Smolk and give and cast enhance ability, and I'm going to give him advantage on con saves.
Awesome.
I should have brought Kyrie.
So I'm casting the Bear's Endurance enhance ability on you, and
What?
yeah, you get advantage on con saves plus 2d6 temporary hit points.
Why are you starting with shots now? You have like 5 hours.
We're pre-gaming quite a bit.
Pre-gaming, man. That's just
Yeah.
how it's done. If you're gonna go bar crawling, gotta get a good
Okay.
buzz on first. That way you don't like lose it all when you're walking around.
Okay. Well,
And
why
all
don't
of a sudden I feel invigorated. Like
you-
I think I
invigorated.
could really go for some honey right now, and I'm no longer afraid of
Invigorated.
bees.
Why don't you do your con save?
Should I use that one that I rolled earlier?
At this point, why don't you make it a con check? We'll do
I'm
our
gonna roll
saves
your
later in the
temporary
night.
hit points too. If I can remember how to make this stupid bot work, how do I do that?
Exclamation mark.
Exclamation point
It's an
R.
exclamation point. Okay.
Is it too late for me to change that to Kyrie?
No.
Also, I'm gonna bring Kyrie instead.
Okay, so you get 10
Excellent.
temporary
Yes.
hit points with your
All right.
endurance.
Oh yeah, your
Awesome.
mechanical boy probably can't even get buzzed.
Yeah. So I think Kyrie's gonna be better.
No, that's all they can get is buzzed.
Alright, got Kyrie up.
You guys are
Kim
both.
is snapping me.
You guys are both on a steady buzz right now.
You know it.
Should I do a con check?
Are you drinking anything?
I'm switching to Kyrie, so she'll probably have mead.
Go for
Oh no, that's a 7.
it. How much meat are you talking about?
So she's a small gal, so probably like a full tankard for her would be quite a bit.
Yeah, it kicks in right away. You're already feeling dizzy. You got 5 hours to try and come down a little bit.
Alright. Do you want me to roll one for drinking also?
I thought that's what yours was for.
No.
Oh, that was for you rolled for.
That
Chris.
was the 2d6 temporary hit points. Because that comes with Bear's Endurance.
Right, it's okay. She's way up the drunken master, so it's okay.
How much are you drinking?
Probably steadily.
Just through the afternoon.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Think about who she is.
Yeah, fair.
And I have advantage. So 2d20s. And that's plus 3, so 15.
Well, it'd actually be 13 if it's plus 3. So you got a 2 and a 10. I don't know why I added those both together.
Oh,
Oh, because it was, I see. Yeah, 2d20.
I didn't realize I did that. I thought it was a 12.
Yeah, they gotta keep an eye on the Avery bot.
So you are
Silly bot.
you're about the same as Smalk right now. Just kind of buzzed. 5
Okay.
o'clock rolls around, and Feather shows up. She's wearing more casual clothes and kind of glamored herself up differently, and she's just hanging out at the bar area of Dolby.
What was her name again?
Feather.
What's your
Ah,
name
yeah,
again?
Feather.
What's your name again?
Oh,
Let's
hello.
get going.
Where are the
It's
others?
time to fuck those other hotels up.
Where are your other two?
I think Karen's still at the bar, but like she switched to water.
Oh, okay. Where's Jezia?
She's probably still drinking unless somebody gets her attention.
Well, it looks like the gang's all here. So we have to decide where we're going to start. Do we want to go cheap up to the more expensive stuff? There are also some interesting, more exotic and foreign places over at the market that I wouldn't mind trying out.
Oh yeah, let's go to there.
You want to start
Oh,
with
my
the
God.
exotic?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I don't want to forget any of it. I mean, if we go there too late, I might be blacked out by then. Then I won't remember any of it, and that won't be any good.
But
That
Brian
sounds like
already made
useful.
maps of both the hotels.
So that settles it. We're going to the market.
I guess so.
She hops off her stool and she says, oh, hold on a second. I said...
Well, I don't want to hold on. I want to go now.
I said spring... Ah, fuck.
The Kyrene's dice.
That's a 3. She is kind of humming and whistling as you go, and she's very lackadaisical. Like before, she was all formal and prim and proper, and now she's just kind of like goofy and a bit silly. And she walks towards the door, kind of spinning and dancing and humming to herself, and she says, "I'm so glad I found you guys. I am in such a good mood. Oh my gosh."
Of Feather right now.
Yeah, that's what she looks like. She's dressed like Eric.
Oh no.
Hold on.
I'm sloping.
I hate it when I can't find the emoji. So, you guys head off to the market. And when you get there, there are multiple places where people are gathering and stuff. You see a big almost like circus tent set up, and you hear people in there carousing, and you see drinks coming in and out of there. And then you see further down the road, there are some open air booths where there's just like open air benches and stuff. And it's winter, but they have fires going, and people are drunk enough that the cold isn't phasing them very much. And she says, "All right, where do we start?" "I've never been here," and she gestures to the... Oh, we lost.
Oh no.
Robin.
Robin, no.
Her internet reset.
Oh no. Okay, internet.
Now it's afternet.
I think I know what your problem was. You're on the internet, not the internet.
She says, "I've never been here," and she gestures to the circus tent-looking thing.
Well, I
Well,
guess we should start
by all
there.
means, let's go in.
So you swing open the flaps, and she makes her way through the crowd, and it's pretty bustling in here. There's some seating areas in the middle with like a big fire pit of coals, and so the whole thing is kind of emanating with warmth around the center. And then you see a few different bars lined up, like almost like they're sharing this kind of communal space. And one has an orc behind, or not an orc, a dwarf behind it. The other has a tiefling, and the last one has just a human.
Is it a half orc, half dwarf?
Yeah, it's a
dork,
it's a,
if you will. Hi guys.
yeah.
Joshua unplugged the router.
Oh
Wow.
man, getting sabotaged.
She says, and the human looks foreign. He's got a dark complexion, and he's got a long mustache, and he's just doesn't look like he's from around here. She says, I myself will try the dork.
Sure, I'll go over there too.
Sure.
Well,
So is that-
okay.
Yeah, so she pushes her way through the crowd and gets up to the counter, and she says, what do you have? And the dork says, all the usual things, but I also have some interesting things from my part of the world if you're feeling adventurous.
I'm down.
I've got Baldur's Gate Pale, Bitter Black, Mushroom Wine, Elminster's Choice, Sage Course, and she says, I don't know what any of those things are. Why don't you just give me something?
No, that was all one thing. It's very
that's
fancy.
all
I've had
one
it
thing.
before.
All right, I'll take
I'll
that.
take one of those.
So he gives you each a glass of Baldur's Gate Pale, Bitter Black.
Oh, no.
It basically
Bad thing.
and it mushroom
Don't
wine. I
drink
think
it straight away. You gotta light the top on fire first before you drink
You
it.
see him
It's how the-
taking. You see him taking all of these drinks that he listed and pouring them into one glass and mixing them up like a horrid cocktail, and it's kind of just turns to a muddy paint color. It's thick too. It's almost milkshaky.
Well, Spald, I guess you
I
should
down
try
it.
first.
Yeah.
There it goes.
You feel like 30 alcohols hitting you at once. Why don't you do a con save?
He's going to be blacked out.
And you too. What'll you have?
I'll have the wine.
Do you have gnomish brandy?
He turns around and looks at his back counter and
The stuff that'll make you see fairies.
he says, I don't, but I think you might check with the tiefling over there.
Okay. And she walks away.
You are a pro. You down this stuff and it does not kick in yet. We'll see how you do later in the night. So you go up to the tiefling, Zezia, and the tiefling it's this fiery haired woman that looks down at you. She's very tall, but you're not sure if she's up on a step or if she's just this tall. But she looks down at you and she says, "What'll you have?"
I like some gnomish brandy, please.
Can do. And she pours you a glass and shoves it over.
How big is the glass?
It's dainty.
Okay, she downs it.
Did I get my wine?
Yeah, he slides it over to you. Did you order like red or white?
Um, red.
He gives you a Merlot.
Oh man. Contract for me.
Sure, yeah. And Feather's sipping at hers, and she looks around and she says, "That's an interesting crowd." And she points to some sailor-looking guys over by the fire, the coal pit. Oh yeah, you're fine with this wine. It's no bigs.
Excellent.
And the guys are laughing a lot, and that's not too uncommon here. But they're louder than the rest of the crowd, and you see them huddled over something around the table.
Shall we go check it out?
She nods, and she's gonna head over there.
Spalk, are you going to come with us, or are you gonna right here, bud?
Yeah, I'll go over there too.
So when you get closer, you see that they are they have these like snails, and they have these like lanes set up with straws, and then they're like stringing food along, and they see the snails going from one end to the other, and it's basically like they've set up these races, so that, and they're betting on them, and they've painted their shells different colors.
I'll put 20 on the blue one.
Oh,
God.
Mike. He looks at you and says, "No, you don't want the blue one, believe me.
No, I want the blue one. I like my odds.
You know, this blue one hasn't won a single run
You don't
all
even
night.
know what your odds are.
They're not good, I can tell you that."
Did I stutter?
How much did you put on the blue
I
one?
put down the I put down the 20 silver.
20. So
I was about to say, I swear to God, if my internet stopped again.
Yeah.
she
It's too quiet.
Feather looks down and she says, "I'll put 50 on green." And she looks at the others and she says, "And a neck massage." And they all cheer and lift up their glasses. And she
Karen is looking very confused at this point.
she puts the money on the table. Are you guys gonna bet?
I think right now Karen is just gonna watch to see what the odds are.
Okay.
Gonna play it safe.
So their race finishes and they start handing each other money and stuff, and then they reset the squirrels and do new lines of food, and then they have a
Squirrels? I thought they were snails.
They're ducks.
Oh god damn it.
And they set up they've got this long kind of a dowel looking thing to block all the slugs or snails, and they say,
Just what
I
kind
don't
of an
even
operation
know.
are you guys running here?
"We're not sure." Keeps changing.
You're obviously failing at domesticating changelings.
"On your marks, get set, go!" And he lifts the dowel, and the snails take off at a snail's pace, and they're all like they're like pounding the tail. They're like, "Come on, Green!" And they have all their snaily names, but
What are they,
What?
Brian?
they're like
What's a snail name?
Or this Brian,
Shelly,
Smells like
Shelly, and Slimy, and Traily, and Crawly, and why don't you guys give me, or I guess it was just Smalk. Why don't you give me high or low?
Hi.
Same.
Mm-mm. So the blue starts off pretty promising, and he gets about to the halfway mark, and then he kind of gets distracted by something, and the others surpass him as he almost starts to crawl out of his lane, and they have to like kind of push him forward and get him to notice the food again, and so he does not win. I'm sorry.
Well, as soon as he starts to like do that, I point over to the other side of the room and I'm like, "Look at that guy!" Does everybody else look?
Why don't you do deception?
All right, and that's oops,
So many
15?
rolls.
Oh, okay. So, 2 of them are focused on the game. The rest look over.
All right, and I want to do a sleight of hand to move the blue one a little bit closer to the finish.
Okay.
What is my sleight of hand? Yeah, that's +6 as well. 17.
You as you say that, they all look over, and you reach over to make it look like you're just trying to get him to notice the food, but you kind of push him. What do you do? I'll let you decide what you do.
I just kind of like grab his shell and like move him up about like 2 inches or so.
2
But
inches
in a
for
very
these
like
2 inches for these snails is a long. Why don't you give me one more higher low?
okay, I'll do high.
That's 100. This snail wins by a tentacle eye.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
Excellent.
You win. You win 85 gold.
All right.
Hey.
And that's on top of getting my 20 silver back.
Mm-hmm.
So those were really good odds.
They did not. No one was betting on the blue.
I like crack my knuckles and like put my hands in the back of my head, kind of like Chewie does when he
So
like
who came in
intimidates
second?
C-3PO and on the Millennium Falcon.
So, which still came in second?
Which snail came in second? It
Yeah.
was a purple shell.
Purple. Okay.
Aubrey, can you hear us? And can you talk?
Hi. Yes,
Cool.
I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
We're going on a pub crawl. What do you want to do for character?
Okay, I'm Hazelnut. So,
Yay.
preteen halfling.
They're currently at the marketplace, and they are in a big circus-looking tent with 3 bars inside, and they're betting on snail races.
Okay. Hazelnut is going to walk around and, being unsupervised, is going to get as tracked as she possibly can.
I will take her under my wing.
And keep in mind, she still has Marlin and the baby bouncers, so that is important.
One of them says, "Hey, I don't suppose you'd want to bet again."
I'll take a bet.
Oh. I forgot who you switched to.
Kyrie.
Oh, Kyrene. And what is Kyrene again?
She's a halfling monk, level 5.
Oh, the short one wants to join. Who are you betting on?
I'll do the purple shell.
I can't hear this voice without hearing in my head. I'll sell it to you for a high price. What'll you have, stranger?
How much are you putting on purple?
I'll do 20 gold.
And the first guy that was talking to Smolk says, "Oh, purple's good. He's been doing well tonight." He says,
I mean, he's no blue, but yeah, I suppose purple's doing okay.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how blue suddenly won a race. Kind of like glare at Smoke.
Well, no, he really quickly won the race. That's how you win races, is
Yeah,
by being
sure,
incredibly
Smoke.
fast.
Uh-huh.
He says, Purple, Purple's got a lot of money riding on him.
Really? How much?
Well, all night long, he's accumulated probably, I would estimate, up to 400.
Oh, wow.
Are you betting against Smulk?
No, I'm not.
Feather is not betting either. She's kind of disgruntled because she lost. So, give me a higher. So they do the dowel again, and it's off to the races. Give me a higher low, Kyrene.
Let's go high.
Oh, 105. It's no competition without Falk's tampering, without Smulk's tampering. The purple wins by like 3 inches, and so you get your money back. You win. I'll say you doubled your money.
Okay.
At this point, I'm going back to the bar and getting another one of those drinks.
Those horrible mushroom wine things. So he
Yeah.
mixes you up another terrible cocktail, and Feather says, "I don't know about this place. I might be ready to move on."
Oh, no.
Cons are going down.
Your buzz is starting to turn into dizziness.
So what's up next, guys? This night's only just getting started.
We could head further down the street and see what's going on.
Yeah. We should probably go find
To
the
the-
other two
to the
first.
streets.
So I gotta write this in. Hold on. Aubrey is playing. Sorry, who are you playing?
Hazelnut.
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 Newt, newt.
I feel
Hazelnut.
like we're just doing like a Bourbon Street bar crawl.
Hazelnut. Did you state where you are? You said you got a drink at the.
I'd imagine. All right, so I'd imagine that since Hazelnut hasn't really been in the bar this whole time, she's just she is like outside already wasted, and she's just gonna like bump into somebody and then just turn around and be like, "Whoa, what?" Like
Oh yeah. Okay.
turn
So
around
you,
and be all hostile.
Feather leads you guys down the main road through the marketplace, and the next place you come to is an open air bar that has kind of a fire pit, and there's some benches gathered around it and stuff. And as you're approaching, Smulk, in your dizzy state, you bump into somebody on the street.
Excuse me.
Hey, I haven't seen you in so long. How you doing?
I'm fine, I guess. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm just fine. Don't bump in. Don't look at the cactus. And she's just like.
Oh,
she
I
covers
look
it
down
up
and
with
the
one hand.
cactus is like stuck in my arm with the little needle. Pull it up. Yeah,
What did I
Nico,
just
sorry
say?
about
What did
that.
I just say? Don't look at the cactus.
Well, I had to get it out of my arm.
Well,
And there's
you
like a
shouldn't have
couple
bumped
little
into him then.
Hey, it's all fair game when it's drinking night.
She's just like swaying back and forth.
Yeah, me too.
She has had half of a drink. Just by the way.
Oh, boy.
Feather's going to like take your arm, Smulk, and she's gonna be like, the drinks are over this way. You know, your friend can come too if she'd like.
Oh, hey, Hazelnut.
Hi. Oh my god. Hi. How are you?
Hey, how are you?
I'm just dandy.
I was great till I lost 20 gold pieces on the snail races.
Oh. Well,
But that's the way of
something is
gambling.
some.
So this bar is more like what you would see at a carnival or whatever, where they just got like a box set up on wheels basically, and it's got the concessions window, and there's this huge I'll say it's just a halfling, but he's like probably 300 pounds.
Oh, no.
What you having?
Ooh.
Um,
What do you have?
Well, I got a lot of things. I got things from.
you sure do.
Small,
I
no.
got about one thing from every location on the map, if you know what I mean.
Sure. I'll have a glass of mead.
If you need some knee cracker, or you need some Lauren's best, I got some Evermead, some fire wine.
I'll take the Evermead.
All
I'll
right.
take some of the knee cracker.
Oh, there's. He gets your Evermead, and he says,
Normally, this is drinking by the elves, but I suppose our kind can take a liking to it.
I'll
and
see how it fares to the stuff from the monastery.
You want a pint?
What are you talking about? A normal pint or a halfling pint?
Well, I gotta serve normal. I'm mostly serving normal people out here. It's what they're used to.
What do you mean normal?
Standard in society.
So that's supposed to be.
You know that the rumor is, I don't know how this stuff is made, but the guy I buy it from says that it's been aged for centuries. Anyway.
I lean in and I'm like, nice deflection.
If it's aged for centuries, I want to try it.
he pours you both a glass, and then he gets another bottle, and he says, "Yeah, this knee cracker's made from windfall apples. You ever had one of them?"
Don't think so.
I just had a pretty good windfall down there at the snail race.
That's because you cheated, Smulk.
Hey, there's no proof of that. How dare you sully my good name in this town?
Carrying it smells like this face palming it.
He says, "This has been sitting here for 3 days. That's the way you're supposed to do it, to let the sediment cool down and settle at the bottom." He gives you a glass and slides it over.
Yeah, I bet you're pretty good at sitting around for 3 days.
Ooh.
So you take this glass, and it's cloudy and it's stronger than ale, but it's not like a wine level of intoxicant.
Should I do another con or no?
Yeah, go for it. Why don't you all the drinkers do cons? What are you having, Hazelnut?
Oh, nice.
Oh,
She'll
no.
just take whatever anybody else is having. She'll actually take the knee cracker.
Ooh.
Okay, he hands you a cider as well. And Smulk, this is like the straw that broke the camel's back for you.
So can I describe this one?
Yeah.
Okay, so I take the drink of the knee cracker and I'm like, whoa, and I kind of like, put my arms out and like, almost kind of fall down, but then like kind of steady back around and everything. I'm like, okay, whoa, that was close. And then I turn around to I gotta go relieve myself, and I turn around and walk like 2 steps, and then like smack into a table with my knee, and then I fall to the ground, grabbing my knee. I'm like, son of a bitch! Oh, the name, it couldn't have been any more right. Oh.
I'm going to say that was karma.
There's a gentleman with a long beard sitting on the bench, and he looks down and he says, "Good heavens, are you all right?"
And I look at him and I'm like, good heavens, are you all right?
He glares at you and then gets up and walks away.
And I like grab onto the table to like stand myself back up, and then I kind of fall over again.
Feather's gonna set her drink down, and she's gonna come kind of try and help you up onto the bench, and she says, Quitting already? We've only been to 2 places.
Did I say I quit?
I'm worried that we're going to have to find a wheelbarrow for you.
Oh, those are fun. Have you ever ridden in one down a hill?
You know that a wheelbarrow only has 1 wheel, yes?
Yeah, you just got to balance it right.
I don't think you're balancing anything tonight.
Oh no, I'm just getting good. Especially,
You-
you got to have a certain amount of bravery when you're doing
notice-
something like that, and then you get in the zone, and man, you can really take off. And
As he's talking
you-
about bravery, Zezia is like flexing her little tiny arms behind him.
see,
You
she
notice-
knows what I'm talking about.
You notice that as the night, as these time of these 2 places is drawn on, that Feather has gotten a little bit more handsy with you as she's drank more. Like she's kind of combing your hair and stuff as she's like taking care of you, sort of. She says, "I don't much care for anything here or that gentleman. Should we move on to the next place?"
Is Small going to be able to move on to the next place?
She says, "We
Yeah,
could."
I'm completely back to normal now.
She says, "If we need to get a carriage, we can, but I have something special in mind. As the concierge, I've heard rumors about a place out in the country that is quite exclusive and mostly unknown.
Really?
It's not far out of the city, but the problem is getting there.
I don't know. A lot of horror stories start out this way.
Yeah.
Get a bunch of people drunk and take them to the countryside.
Several people have
I'm
talked
not drunk.
Neither am I.
Hazel, you're swaying a little bit.
I'm just gonna
know,
pat
that's
cute little
just-
hazelnut on the head.
She falls over.
I'm
Says he's
help
gonna be like,
Hazelnut
oop,
up.
and try to pick you back up.
I'm fine.
She's like cradling her cactus.
I just want to cradle hazelnut.
So when they say that they're not that drunk, I'm like, you know what? I'm not that drunk either. And then this happens. Give me a
Yeah.
second.
That's such
So,
a good movie.
Oh, it's one of my favorites. Blimey, they're not that drunk. Cheeky bastards.
Feather pulls out a scrap of paper, and you can see that it's kind of a penciled and hand-drawn map that sort of gives the whereabouts of this location. And she said, "Yeah," she says, "we might want to call a cab for this one." Are you all up for this? I don't know what we're getting into. I've only heard rumors.
I'm down for a little bit of adventure.
She nods, and she's gonna go up the main street where it's less crowded, and when there's finally a carriage driving by, she's gonna hail it, and it looks like there's enough room for you to all climb aboard.
I climb
Right.
aboard and then I take my rapier out and point it out towards the front, and I'm like, to the destination,
The driver, like,
Poke an eye out.
to adventure.
the driver like ducks as you shave off a piece of his hair.
Small, put it away. No one needs to
He's-
see that.
He spends the rest of the ride hunched forward, where it's like trying to get away from you.
I'm like the whole ride, like pointing the sword forward, like Washington on that boat crossing the Delaware.
I'm
This
gonna
ride-
prestidigitate his cloak flapping in the wind, even when there's no wind.
She hands him the scrap of paper, and this ride lasts for what feels like probably 15 minutes or so, maybe 20. Get the map here. As best as he can manage to tell, it heads east from Torrington, and then it goes north up into the wooded area until finally you reach a clearing in the trees, and you see that there are a number of other horses and a couple carriages, and there's smoke in the chimney. And this is more like it's a farmhouse, but then there's a big barn, and you hear a lot of noise coming from the barn and music and stuff. All right, I guess we found it.
Get back to it.
She pays the driver and hops down. Hope there's no sort of password to get in.
Oh shit, we didn't
Don't
think of that,
know.
did we?
I'm used to weaseling my way into places. I'm sure we'll be fine. We're paying customers. They can't turn us down. It's not like we're the
You're
Port
right.
Authority or anything.
Oh
No.
yeah, you're right.
No.
The Port Authority, where?
Oh
The Port
guys.
Authority. She tries to hurry up and get out of the carriage, and then just falls flat on her face.
Oh,
Yeah, I do
no.
the same. I like quickly like sheath the rapier, and I'm like trying to get out of there like the cops are coming.
Brian, I went to the fabric store yesterday, and when I was walking out of the fabric store, a little like elderly black lady came up to me and she was like, "Excuse me," and I was like, "Yes," and she goes, "Do you know where I can find the Port Authority?" And I was like, no. Strongly resisting the urge to tell her that I'm the Port Authority.
You just follow the jorts.
But I'm sorry, I needed to get that story out while we were recording because it's relevant.
So, as you guys get closer, the big barn doors swing open, and somebody staggers out, walks all the way across towards the woods, doesn't make it quite, and then just vomits in the grass.
Lovely.
And once the doors open, you hear the music grows louder, and inside you can see flashing lights and stuff.
Hmm.
Feather
Oh,
just
what's
marches right in.
Okay. I'm gonna follow.
Yeah, Zezzy will march in after.
So the place inside is very dark, and it's basically like a club. There's flashing lights and strobes and colors and a lot of noise, and there's people dancing, and there's a full band playing on the corner, and they've got kind of whatever they have for amplification in those days, in this era. Like, it's possibly magic infused. And so you guys see a few games being played, and you see over in the far opposite corner of the band, there's a big counter that they've set up out of just wood and hay bales and stuff. And there's a guy serving people. And then right in the center of the room, there's a great big Wheel of Fortune wheel upright. It's like spinning on like, instead of how do you say that? It's a vertical wheel basically, and it's got all these colors on it.
I spin it.
You can't just walk up and spin it. There's people
Why
gathered
not?
around.
Can I roll something to see if I can?
No, you can go up, and the guy is up there manning it, and there's a lot of people kind of gathered around, but he says, "All right, who's next?" And if you approach, he'll say, "How about you,
me,
sir?"
me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Zezzy's like, me.
Every player gets the first spin for 10 gold, and every spin afterwards, the price doubles.
So is this, instead of like Wheel of Fortune, is it more like The Price is Right, the spin thing on there?
It's like if you took the Wheel of Fortune's wheel and just propped it up, but it's like the Wheel of the Worst on Red Letter Media.
Oh, okay.
But as far as winnings go, it's more like Price is Right.
Oh, okay.
You see that the colors are, some of them are bigger, some of them are smaller, obviously related to the chances. You see that there's one black ominous square that's kind of big, and then you see that there's one gold square that's glistening with glitter and stuff, and it's pretty small. All right, 10 gold, that'll be.
All right, I hand him the 10 gold.
Give the wheel a spin. It's going to be a D20.
All right. Damn.
It lands on a brown tile, and he says, "All right, you won yourself a fine, you won yourself a fine leather bullwhip," and he hands it to you.
Aw, I already got one of these. I pull out my whip of life stealing.
Well, this one's brand new. If you'd like to try to win something else, it'll just be 20 gold.
I'm just gonna start cracking them both inside the room.
Zezia is gonna roll for attractiveness.
What are you trying to seduce him into a lower price or what?
No, I was making a bad joke about having whips.
Oh.
It's okay, innocent Brian. We love you.
Feather's gonna pay the man. I'll give it a go. She spins it with as much force as she can muster, and she gets an 8. He smiles at her and he says, "You won yourself this fine tambourine," and he goes and hands it to her.
Zezia wants to play.
10 gold, please.
Okay.
Hey, Feather, I'll trade you this whip for a tambourine.
She will pay the 10 gold, and I will roll to roll.
Interestingly enough, I already have a tambourine. She makes the trade.
All right.
Smoke got tambourine.
Got a 7.
He, you guys are rolling all within the same range. He laughs and he says, "You won yourself this," and he gives you a jester's hat.
She fucking puts it on.
It's the best prize yet.
Kyrie will give it a go.
Okay.
Got a 3.
A 3?
Yep.
He says, you land on a white space, or
Oh,
no,
do
it's
the noise, Brian.
Ding! You land on it's a discolored space. It just looks like it's a clear, translucent thing against the wood. And he says, "Aha! This one's a specialty to me. I like this one." And he hands you a Crystal Skull vodka.
All right.
What?
It's worth 200 gold points if you decide not to drink it.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Like, I heard they pour that vodka over Herkimer diamonds.
I'm
That would
gonna
look
put my haversack.
Who said what?
I was gonna put it in my haversack for later.
Cool.
Zezia's gonna slide 20 gold towards the man.
Another spin. All right, here you go. And he gestures towards the wheel. Ding.
Wow.
You hear the entire crowd gathered around you go, "Oh!" He says, "Well, that's a rare one. That's a rare one. Here you go." And he hands you this potion. He says, "The one and only potion of the frost giant's strength."
Thanks. And she puts it in her bag.
I'll send you the stats on that.
Okay.
Hazelnut will go next.
So basically, when you drink it, you get 23 strength for an hour.
Okay, so that was a strength check, right?
Nope. It's just a regular D20.
Well, that was a natural 20.
Bitch.
You got a nat 20?
Yeah.
Okay. Bing! And everybody loses their mind. And it landed on the gold space. he says, "All right, bring out the mini wheel." And
You gotta see another wheel.
yeah, this is what they do on. I've seen it on Wheel of Fortune. So he takes out this like personal pizza sized wheel, and it's got it's split in half. There's like a black and a white, and he goes, "Land on white, you win the extra special prize." And so it'll be just like a D4. Try to roll a 3 or a 4.
Land on
Okay,
black,
let me-
certain death.
Let me get out a D4. Hang on. Where are my little triangles? One in my pocket.
Worst part is
Okay.
whenever you find one, they're almost impossible to pick up.
That's a 2.
A 2?
Yes.
Pew! He says, you didn't make it. I'm sorry. That's some darn terrible luck you got there.
Mhm.
He says, I'll let
His
you pick
finger
one.
was on the wheel. I saw it. You all saw it too, didn't you? And I point to a bunch of people beside me.
And they're all like, yeah! I swear to you, I did not touch the wheel. He sets it down on the counter and he says, fine. Roll. Nobody go near the wheel. See what happens. Or spin.
Okay. 4.
And everybody just goes, "Ah!" And he just glares at you, Smolk.
Good eye, Smoke.
And I just, just take my drink, but without not look. I'm like staring at him back, like while I'm taking my drink.
He begrudgingly picks up the wheel and walks behind the big one, and you see him rifling through a chest full of stuff, and he comes back with this iron flask, and he just grumpily hands it over to Hazelnut.
What's inside this flask?
He says, "It's an iron flask. It's got magical properties," and he hands you a paper certificate with it to explain it. And it's basically a legendary wondrous item.
Damn.
But because it's an iron, you can't detect what it is through magic. That should be the way it goes.
Okay. So, what's the command word?
Yeah, I sent it to you.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
Is it super dope? Were you gonna do it?
Not now,
Okay.
but it's dope.
Feather's gonna say, "What's next on the agenda? You guys want another drink?"
You said that there were some games here? Were there other ones?
There's just people like rolling dice and gambling and doing stuff.
Okay.
Nothing.
The
crazy.
iron flask looks like that. You just drink out of the part where you pour the water into. Nothing gets you crunk like iron water.
Any other takers at the wheel? He says. And Feather's
I'll
So
go.
say I'll do it again.
okay. Feather's gonna go get a drink. Which? Yeah, just guys. You guys can just roll.
17.
6.
Zezia is up. So it's gonna be 40 gold from Zezia.
That's fine. I have enough.
17. You win another Strength of the Frost Giant,
Excellent.
and with a 6, he grants you a rubber horse mask
Nice.
God.
to go
She
to go with
puts
your
that
Chester
shit
hat.
on.
Nice. You got the rubber horse mask and a jester hat.
She puts on both.
Excellent.
After a while, Feather comes back with a tray full of drinks, and she says, "I got a round for everyone."
Oh, thank you.
And they're all like a
Thank
ink,
you.
or no, these are like a indigo blue.
Zazia, are you able to drink?
Who?
Zazia,
What?
are you gonna be able to drink with that mask on?
It does technically have a hole in the mouth.
Yeah, but okay.
You just mush it close to your face.
I mean, that's fair.
Why don't you guys all do con saves again?
Oh my
Yes.
That's a 10.
god. That is a 15.
Oh, natural 20.
Jesus.
Small feels like he's plateaued for a while.
The first one is a 15.
Are you rolling with advantage or disadvantage?
Advantage. Why?
I was just curious.
And the
Oh,
other's a
damn.
19.
Okay. Yeah, you've. So everybody below a 10 is this stuff's hitting them pretty hard. Everybody above a 10 is maintaining.
What about
Yay.
at 10?
Hmm?
What about at 10? 'Cause that's
Did you
what I
get
got.
at 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I like hit my 20, I decided to go up on stage and start playing One More Time by Daft Punk.
Nice.
The band member he's gonna say, "Yo, what instrument do you play?"
All of them. Give them here.
God.
So they put a guitar in your hands, and they take a tambourine and put it on one foot, and then they give you a beat drum with the other foot, and then they stick a harmonica around your neck, and then they give you like some. Oh, and they have like a xylophone. Then they like tape or tie a stick to your arm that you can ting tong on it. You're gonna have to roll a performance check.
Okay. My performance is
He says, "What do you prefer?" He's
Not
like, "What do
bad.
you prefer, the accordion or the guitar?"
Acoustic.
all right.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
nice. It's not
One
so much
more
that you're.
time, I want to celebrate. Oh yeah, all right. I feel like dancing.
I love
like-
you.
Going on beat and everything. The little hi hat on the back is like just slapping up and down and everything.
Oh, God.
It's not so much that you're good. It's that everyone here is so shit faced. They're just into it. The novelty of seeing a one-man band is really impressive to them.
It wasn't a bad roll, though.
I know that's why he's succeeding, but it's everybody is really into it, and you see everyone start dancing. And Feather says, "Your friend is really talented."
You can say that, yeah. Sure. It
All
really
right.
depends on how much he's had to drink.
Well, are you guys done here? You want to hang out some more? By this time, it's getting probably close to like 10 o'clock at night.
Didn't Rupert want us to go check out an inn? Or who's working there?
We could hit up the last inns and spy on those people before I completely lose my senses.
That's probably a good idea.
definitely wear out my welcome playing that song. Is I only play that for like 20 minutes long.
Yeah, you start to see the dancers start to lose interest, and everybody goes back to what they were doing after like the third time. The band
Yeah, I get to
doesn't.
the point where they have to kind of surround me, and like I keep on like turning into the other direction to get around from them as I'm walking and playing this stuff, and then they like have to, like flank back around, and then they start pulling off the instruments one at a time.
Yeah, and the band members don't care that much because they get free drinks. So, if you guys head back outside, you see that guy is still throwing up in the grass.
Can I do a
And then-
medicine check on him?
A new one has joined him, and he's laying down, passed out.
Oh, I will go over and do medicine checks on them. Make sure they're okay.
Okay.
Oh, now you roll fine. God damn it. Let's see. 22.
The first one says,
I don't know what it was. I think I got some sort of food poisoning.
So don't. I'm trying to think. Do we have any of the food?
Eat some bread, that'll help.
he gestures
Well-
over to the one in the grass, and he says,
He's okay. He's just had a lot to drink.
Okay. Just want to make sure you guys are okay.
Yeah, we'll be fine. I just need to sit down for a while.
Okay. Keep warm.
so, the carriage takes you back to Torrington, and she says,
Before we leave, I say to the one guy, did anybody ever tell you sound like the bat from Anastasia?
God damn it. I'm sure I'm thinking what voice that reminds me of.
Hold on, let me look that up.
It's Hank Azaria.
Oh,
Doing
okay.
like a sort of Russian voice.
I was going for Peter Lorre. So, she says, where is it going to be? Les Mulligan's or the Prestige?
The Prestige.
Wait, what was the one Rupert wanted us to go to?
Both of them.
Was it?
Oh, he
Okay.
mentioned Les Mulligan. He was making a joke because they hire a new bartender every week because they have a high turnover over there. Prestige is very nice. They're a bit on the high prices.
Luckily, I just made a bunch of money and cleaned up earlier at the snail races.
Fair enough. Driver, take us to the Prestige. He's flinching every once in a while just in case there's a sword swinging by him.
That's fair.
So yeah,
Small
you
goes
guys-
in the car.
You guys arrive, and this place is fancy. Like when you go into the lobby, the whole
Whoa.
dining area is
Okay.
off to the left, and you go through these big double doors, and it's like at first it's fine dining, but then you get into the more barroom area, and this place is full too. Like, and the people here are much different crowd than you've been hanging out with. Like, you see a couple politicians that you recognize from the news, and you see no rowdy sailors so much as, but you maybe more like officers and captains, and everybody here is more rich and high society.
I make sure to tidy up my clothes, and then I like pour whatever drink I had like into my hair and slick it back.
Gross.
Ugh.
They've got a lot of fancier food here too, and you see over at behind the bar there's a big, almost like it's a wood fire oven and in a brick cut out of the wall. And there's this let me pull up his stats real quick. There's this tall dark elf behind the counter, and he looks down at you. He looks down at you physically, but he also kind of looks down at you just attitude wise, and he says, "Why are you all here?"
to have a drink. Is that a crime?
We have good money. And she drops like a handful of gold on the table.
You see one eyebrow
Hazelnut
raise.
says,
You see one eyebrow raise, and he says, "Very well. What'll you have?"
Hazelnut goes,
I'll have a shot of whiskey.
I want whatever the strongest thing is you have.
He smirks. Are you sure about that?
Do I look sure about that?
No, I think actually I'll join her on that.
Both of his eyebrows raised.
Shaken, not stirred.
He says, "I don't know if your little bag of gold is going to be able to afford this."
I'm gonna put up my own bag of gold as well.
He says, "It's 1,000 a glass."
Only 1,000? Please.
He says, "Normally this is reserved for people with very, very high constitutions."
That's why we're here.
He says, I'll need you to sign this." And he slides some papers, some waivers over that say that you won't sue him if anything happens to you.
Okay, done.
I sign it as Bradley Chuffton III. Yeah, I'll start a tab too. Just put us all on the same tab.
Yeah.
You guys actually roll insights real quick.
I'm gonna relax that. Oh, okay. 12.
17.
I'm gonna sign mine as royal.
do it. He deserves what he gets.
Smolk.
Sorry,
Smolk,
Eric.
Smolk,
What?
you get the sense that this guy is both disgusted that he's wasting this incredible alcohol on you lot, and also impressed that one, you can afford it, and two, that you have the courage to actually order this. He's gonna turn and he's gonna walk down the staircase into the basement, and he's gonna be gone for a little while.
I'm gonna go behind the bar and just clean up on that shit. and then make a break for it.
Why don't you roll stealth? And
Can I give a help action for Smolk?
what are you doing?
I'm gonna like keep an eye out for him.
Okay. Yeah, you can add his stealth to your perception.
Okay, my stealth is +6.
Nice.
So do I get advantage since she's helping me out?
Oh no, I'm just gonna add your rolls together.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Perception. 18. And then add the 6 to it.
No,
Right.
you just add your 18 to his.
Okay, yeah.
So that's gonna be. I got a dirty 20, and so you guys
Ouch.
easily beat that.
All right.
And so what happens is because you're
Well, at least we know that nobody's looking at us.
Yeah. For sure.
Dude, I totally forgot she was wearing that in this place. No wonder the guy was so disgusted with you.
God damn it.
And I'm just like, I got good money.
Yeah, I'm sure most of the people in there is like, what is in these drinks?
Smolk, what was your total roll just by yourself? 14?
Yeah.
Okay, because you did not beat my roll, he starts coming back up the stairs, but she warns you. And so...
All right, bonus action hide.
okay. Why don't you roll a D100? You were able to collect 52 gold worth of alcohol.
That's it. If this stuff is like $1,000 drinks and stuff, like I think it should be more than that, like 52 platinum, I would say.
Not behind the bar.
Still, like they
right.
got the good shit there.
All right, I'll call it platinum.
All right, because I'm
You
gonna
made a-
give all this stuff just to back to Rupert anyway. I'm not stealing it for myself.
All right.
Hazel,
This? Yes?
I was gonna say, Hazelnut will walk up to this guy just totter drunk. She looks like a drunk toddler, and she will just, and she just
Oh, so
looks
like a
at him
toddler?
and she goes, yes, and she just goes, now, I don't have much money, but I do have these, and she'll just start like druid crafting like daffodils, just like dollar bills, and just starts like doing the like make it rain thing, but it's daffodils and they're only like hitting his knees.
While he's distracted, can I try to sneak out the rest of the way?
Okay.
Yes.
Damn. Okay.
Oh, that'll do it.
I rolled a 15 notice. So he starts pouring this, and well, actually, he's got to go through the motions of, and he also says, "You're fortunate that you're all drinking some of this, or the price would be higher because I can only, once the bottle's open, I can't recork it." When he uncorks this bottle, you see a plume of smoke come out, and when he pours it, I would say that it's inky black, except it seems to absorb all light around it, and it's just matte. There's no reflective components at all to this liquid.
Oh, boy.
And it when it comes out, it does that thing where it looks like it's just a plastic stream, but until you touch it, and then suddenly it moves. If you interrupt the stream.
Oh.
It's weird. And he gives you each about a martini glass's worth. And it's strong. Like even just as he's pouring it, you can get whiffs of the fumes.
Is Hazelnut having some too?
Yep.
All right. I'm gonna cover your pay for it.
Aw.
Oh, nice.
You don't need to. I told him that I would start a tab for everybody.
Oh, that's right.
Rosie is
Never
gonna
mind.
drink
One thing.
hers.
Okay,
Kyrie's
so
gonna
that's
drink
gonna be-
hers.
You'll
And
have
she's
to
gonna-
charge Bradley Chumpton the third.
Brian.
Yeah.
So Kyrie's gonna drink hers and keep eye contact with the bartender.
And I rolled real bad.
Well, you can try to keep eye contact with the bartender. This is
With advantage, I rolled a 6 on my con save for this drink.
Oh my gosh.
Youch.
For this one, I'm trying to think about it here. I think we should take your first roll. Because
My first roll was the 6.
okay. Because I think that everybody's getting disadvantaged, so that would have been your single regular roll.
Oh, disadvantage?
Yeah.
Damn, I just rolled about 20! Brian! Brian, come on!
Nope, no grace
Oh
on this one.
no. That's a nat one.
Wait. Wait, are you
Hazelnut's
halfling?
just dead.
Wait, is Hazelnut halfling?
Yep.
You can re-roll that once.
Halfling luck.
Yeah, halfling
Yep.
luck.
Yeah. Okay, that's a 10. That's not much better.
But it's not a nat
Is this-
one.
Yes.
Hey, Brian. Can you
Okay,
play
so
on
what
that
kind of
20?
effect does the drink have on me?
Yeah,
Because I have some immunities.
Okay.
I don't have any.
Ah, shit. Sorry, my app updated, so I gotta. Oh, here we go.
Everything's updated on you, didn't it?
Everything.
Oof, ouchie, my appy.
Did he die?
No.
Damn it.
All right. Who all rolled below a 10?
I
Me.
did. I got an 8.
I rolled a 10.
Okay. You guys are witnessing the effect of maddening darkness. No, the people who rolled above 10 are just drunk off their asses, but you guys, you see a magical darkness spread from from your glass in a 60-foot radius, and dark vision cannot penetrate it. And
Even if it's superior dark vision?
it just says dark vision cannot penetrate it. You guys start to hear shrieks, gibbering, and mad laughter within that area of darkness. And if you start your turn in there, you must make a wisdom save and take 8d8 psychic damage on a fail.
Oh my god!
Ouchie. I have
Damn.
advantage. Because I have advantage on saves against spells and effects.
Okay. And then
Oh,
everybody
did we
who
roll
rolled
for it?
above a 10, you immediately feel like you're going to vomit, and this it's almost like you've had 15 shots all at once.
Oh boy.
What kind of roll do we have to make, Brian?
This is a wisdom save.
Okay, a wisdom save for a druid. I'm not very good at wisdom.
No?
The DC is 8, so
8? Okay, good. That's a 16.
Oh.
For the
passed on it.
darkness?
mm-hmm.
Oh.
If you succeed, you take half. So let me see.
Oh, man.
Wisdom.
It's gonna be 22.
Whew.
So as you guys are
26.
sitting here, you just get this sick feeling inside, almost like the worst depression and anxiety and fear and dread and just everything all at once. And it just makes you feel like the longer you sit here with this drink, inhaling the fumes and stuff, the more it's just going to get worse and worse. And Feather, actually, let me see how Feather did.
Did she die?
She is
Oh,
right in there
God.
with you. And so she is feeling horrid, and she starts pressing on her temples, and she says, "I think I'd best be going."
I need to take a step outside, I think.
And Smalk, you see that, I mean, you're trying to just hold down your the contents of your stomach, but you notice that as she starts to try and leave, she's kind of hesitant, and it almost is like she's not sure where the exit is.
Well, I'm already outside. I escaped outside with all the bottles.
Oh, I
I
thought you were
stole.
just. Oh, okay.
So am I the only one inside?
No, Hazelnut's inside.
Oh, okay.
I'm still inside. I haven't left yet.
Yeah, you guys can't see because you hit with this darkness, so. He already
So
knows.
if
He's
I
gonna say-
succeed the roll, nothing happens, or do I take half damage?
Which roll? The original drink constitution or.
No. You said we make a roll for the darkness.
Yeah, that's 22 damage.
Okay.
He says, you guys don't see it because it's black, but he waves over his security guard guy, his bouncer, and the bouncer, you feel his arms kind of on your shoulders, and he says, "This way to the exit."
Hazelnut feels a stranger's hands on her, and she freaks the fuck out. It's like a bad trip. Like she's going nuts. It's like a mad cat. Like just,
Kareem,
she's not.
she's reaction is gonna elbow the guy because she doesn't know where it's coming from.
Okay, roll your attack. The
Oh,
strength plus
okay.
proficiency.
Nope, I do dex.
Oh, cool.
That's a 10.
Let me see. You feel it kind of connect, but it doesn't seem to phase him at all. You mostly hit
Okay.
fat.
Of course. Kareem's immediately going to apologize. I'm sorry.
He just says it again. This way to the exit.
Okay.
Just okay.
Okay.
If you allow him to shuffle you out, you feel the darkness starting to lift a little bit, and by the time you get into the lobby of the Prestige, it's all gone, and you just feel nauseous and super, super dizzy.
Oh.
So you didn't drink any smoke?
No, I just stole the stuff and went outside.
Are you just hanging out at the door?
Well, I thought they were going to follow me, and then I got outside, and they just kind of waiting for them to come out.
Okay. Yeah, you see them getting ushered out of the bar into the lobby, and then they kind of can sense their surroundings again.
Oh, what took you so long?
Bad drink.
Was it
Yeah.
any of this stuff? And I show the bottles. Is it the same stuff?
Absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
Desi is just like, nope. That's
Okay.
that's not it.
Well, good thing. This is the good stuff then. Here, let's go take it back to Rupert.
Alright.
Smolk, you notice that they are having a considerably more difficult time walking in a straight line than they were when they went into the Prestige.
So y'all must have got lit up, huh?
Zezia makes light on whatever he's holding.
So
And then just giggles.
it's only a short walk to the Dolby Inn. It seems to take an abnormally long time trying to corral you two. You group. But once you get inside, I think you'll see Daniel Beluskin behind the counter looking up like, hi, and obviously. Oh, I said it was Friday, so he'd be up late. So yeah, Chef Rupert is there, and he says, "Back already?" It's like midnight by now.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy, look what we got for you. And I open my coat to all the bottles and stuff like that. Compliments of the Prestige. And I wink at him.
He says, "Very kind of you to buy this from them so we can try it. I'll,
Yeah, bye. I
Kareem's
went bye-bye,
just
all right.
Zezia very sloppily plops down at the bar and is like, "Hi, Rupee, I need a drink."
You need the
We
hair
were
of the
gonna have some
dog?
water.
I did not hear that.
You need the hair of the dog?
Yes.
He starts pouring you guys your stuff, and he says, "You guys want to sample this stuff from the Prestige?"
No.
No.
Uh-uh.
All right. I think we can end it there.
Zoe has like a titty hanging out. Because
the
she's
best night to
trashed
end.
it at a halter top.
Oh, fuck.